First of all, let's explain what is the difference between the phrase most dominant and the word greatest. I saw a Bleacher Report article where it is explained very well. So basically greatness takes into account the caliber of competition and dominance does not. Dominance measures only a player's level of superiority over the field at a given time. How's it going, folks? My name is Tanel and today let's try to rank the most dominant seasons in tennis. I am a true believer that we can't compare eras and for example objectively say that era A had a stronger competition than era B. Yeah, maybe we can say it when we compare 60s to modern day tennis, but overall it isn't a good taste in my opinion to compare eras. That's why ranking the most dominant, not greatest seasons makes more sense to me. So here are the criteria based on what I'm going to rank them. The main criteria is his or her success in the Grand Slam events that year. Secondly, I'll take into account players' record in the given calendar year and take a look at the win-loss ratio. I'll also check the players' matches and success against other top players of the era. Masters and Tour Finals titles are also something to look at, but they are not as important as the previous three criteria. Olympic gold in singles is a great bonus. I only looked at the Open era, so all the seasons between 1968 and 2022 are in consideration. Some players have had more than one very dominant year, but I decided that a given player can be listed only once here with his or her most dominant season. Alright, let's do some ranking now. Number 6, Roger Federer, 2006. 2006 was the year when I started to follow tennis a lot. As a Roddick fan, I remember vividly the US Open final where Federer beat A-Rod. Yeah, the Maestro lost a set to Roddick, but there was never a doubt in my mind that Federer wouldn't win that final. In that successful season, Federer won 3 Grand Slams and reached the final of the French Open where he lost to Rafa in 4 sets. Roger was in the midst of his prime back then and he also won the Tour Finals and 4 Masters titles. By the way, after that French Open loss to Nadal, Federer proceeded to win 48 of his remaining 49 matches in 2006. It was without a doubt Federer's best season. In total, he won a staggering 12 singles titles that year. However, Roger lost 4 matches against his great rival Nadal in 2006, which prevented him from being placed higher on this list. Nevertheless, Federer's glory days in those early to mid 2000s were just so special. He had that unbeatable aura over him and just oozed confidence and flair. I miss the legend. Number 5, Novak Djokovic, 2015. Djokovic has had many really dominant seasons. His 2011 and 2021 seasons were really impressive, but Novak's most dominant season ever has got to be 2015. Similarly to Federer, Djokovic won all the Grand Slams besides the French Open that year. There, Novak did beat the greatest clay court player of all time in the quarterfinals, but surprisingly lost to prime Stan Wawrinka in the final. However, in the US Open, Wimbledon and Tour Finals, he did beat his other great rival Federer. Djokovic's record against his biggest rivals that year is one of the main reasons why it is ranked higher than Roger's 2006 season. Number 4, Martina Navratilova, 1983. What a year that was for Navratilova! The Czech American, who won an outstanding 354 titles in her career, lost just one match in 1983. That year, Navratilova amazingly won 3 Grand Slams in singles and doubles. Her only loss came in the 4th round of the French Open. There, Martina lost to a 17-year-old Kathy Horvath in 3 sets, which was a huge upset at the time. Here's some more amazing stats for you. Navratilova won Wimbledon and the US Open without the loss of a set. She lost just 9 sets in all of 1983. Wow! In addition, she won both singles and doubles Tour Finals that year. Also important is the fact that Navratilova won all the 6 matches in 1983 against another tennis legend, Chris Evert, who was number 2 for most of that year. Evert won more than 4 games in only one of the 6 matches between the two tennis icons. Navratilova would be a real contender for the first place in this list if it wasn't for that French Open loss. Number 3, Rod Laver, 1969. The standard for this list is so high that you have to have a calendar year Grand Slam in your resume to be in the top 3. Laver's 1969 achievements came 1 year after the Open era started. During that season, the Rocket won all 4 major titles for the second time in his career. As tennis fans know, he is the only player ever to complete the calendar year Grand Slam twice. The Australian won 18 titles and over 100 matches in total that year. Laver proved his versatility by winning the Grand Slam tournaments on both grass and clay. In addition to the Grand Slam success, Laver was the winner of the 2 most important hardcourt and indoor tournaments. The left-handed Laver was tennis's biggest star back in the day, and there was simply no competition for him that year. Number 2, Margaret Court, 1970. Ah yes, another Australian on the list. The legendary Margaret Court, who still holds the record for the most Grand Slams won in singles with 24, had an amazing season in 1970. Court obviously won the calendar year Grand Slam that year, otherwise she wouldn't be second on this list. In total, Court collected 21 titles in singles and lost just 6 matches in 1970. By the way, the Australian beat Billie Jean King in the finals of Wimbledon that year with a score of 14-12, 11-9. What makes this feat even more remarkable is the fact that she needed an injection to deaden the pain from a severely sprained ankle. Keep in mind that the year was 1970. Number 1, Steffi Graf, 1988. There's no doubt in my mind that Steffi's 1988 is the most dominant tennis season ever. That year, Graf became the first tennis player to achieve the Golden Slam by winning all 4 major singles titles and the Olympic gold medal in the same calendar year. She still remains the only one who has done that. Steffi Graf's 73 wins and 3 losses match record was bloody good, but by the way was not her best year in terms of winning percentage. Between April and November, she won 46 straight matches. Steffi swept through the French Open, Wimbledon and Olympics with the loss of just 2 sets. Graf totally dominated the women's tour in '88. First of all, she defeated Chris Evert in the Australian Open final. Now hear this, her match in the French Open final against Zvereva finished with a score of 6-love, 6-love and lasted just 34 minutes. Graf also earned a comeback victory against Navratilova in Wimbledon's final and defeated Sabatini to win the US Open and the Olympic gold. I feel like Graf is extremely underrated given her achievements. The tennis community has somehow forgotten her and doesn't give her enough credit in my opinion. Guys, holding the number 1 spot for 377 weeks and winning 22 major singles titles is darn impressive. And so was her 1988 season. Obviously, there have been some other dominant tennis seasons as well, so here are the honorable mentions. Anyway, do you agree with my top 6 or would you change something on the list? Let me know in the comments. As always, thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.